Hey, what's going on, campers? Camp Facer here. That's right. I'm back, bitch. What's up, Leatherface Bubba? Stop chewing that goddamn shit. It smells like rotten cheese that's pouring out of your mouth. You guys, Grandpa's upstairs drinking all my damn tall boys again. I can never win with that dude. You know, I go out and buy my own talls, and that bastard up there keeps drinking them. And he's always passed out. He's like, oh, yes. How sweet, fresh meat. What's going on, guys? We got Gaming Trucker First Blood in the house. What's up, Gaming Trucker? Michael, what's up? We got Callie Green. Daniel Barry Sports, what's going on? Band User, Mark D. Hey, how's everybody doing today? I know this is kind of like, I can't even talk. Sorry. Ooh, I feel like Beetlejuice when I'm doing that. Speaking of Beetlejuice, part 2 is coming out soon. How do you guys feel about that? I think it could be a good movie. It has Winona Ryder in it. Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice himself, thank God. I'm crossing my fingers though. So today's stream is a watch-along stream with Gun on Twitch. I believe it's Matt Shacha and somebody new. Forget what her name is. She's kind of new to the to Gun as an employee. I don't know what her position is, but I think they're just gonna be talking about the game and just ideas and stuff, or what they've been working on. I don't know the whole thing, but we're gonna watch it together here shortly. It's supposed to start at 4 in about 8 more minutes or so. Supreme Slice in the house, a camp supporter and moderator of the channel. What's up? I'm doing good. Just been laying low. I'm not feeling very well. I'm excited to see what they're going to talk about, but you know, I'll try to keep quiet and let you guys hear them. You know, we're watching it together. I don't want to drown out what they're saying and be annoying, but I'll chime in once in a while if feel need. So yeah, they're going to be going live shortly here on their Twitch channel, and we're going to be watching it together. I mean, I do have the time right. They did say 4 o'clock, right? Eastern Standard Time. But you guys, shout out to Gun Interactive, Gun Media, for all the hard work they've put into this game so far. In the quick turnaround with updates and patched bug fixes. And you guys, these guys are awesome for bringing these horror movies to life in the gaming world, because without it, we could sit here and complain about little things to do with the game all we want, but without Gun bringing that shit here, we wouldn't have it, you know? We'd still be playing like Mortal Kombat or whatever. Friday the 13th on Nintendo. Supreme says, I forgot it was on. See, that's why I'm here. I'm here to bring my community, our community, not just my. We're all here together, right? We're all in on the horror movie stuff together, in the gaming. I'm here to make sure we watch along together and remind people don't miss what we're about to enjoy. Hopefully. So. Let's see, where are they? Come on, Gun. I would imagine they're going to do the starting soon at 4 o'clock. It's not going to like 4 o'clock's going to come and then it's just going to be like, hey, we're live. Hey, how you doing? So at 4 o'clock, which is about 5 more minutes or less, the stream will go live and I'll put it on my channel here. E.T. on Nintendo NES. There was a documentary on Netflix about that, and I watched it. And if you haven't seen it, it's an interesting watch because it's one of those true stories you're like, holy shit. If you guys didn't know, E.T. on Nintendo was the most failed game ever made and the most half-assed game ever made. So bad that they made too many copies of it and no one was buying it and they didn't know what to do. And they had warehouse filled with brand new boxed E.T. games and they just literally brought them to a landfill and buried them all. And in the documentary, they tried to people tried to locate the landfill where they were buried and try to see where it was, and they brought digging device excavators back there, digging devices, excavators back there, and they dug up the ground and they ended up finding some of the cartridges. Colleen Green also says the one shot needs to be removed, lad. Why do you guys feel that way? I don't understand it. If anything, we need a buff for the family. A buff. We don't need them to be nerfed. We need a buff. And to be honest, the one shot, like I said earlier in the chat, it's very easy as a victim to evade it and juke the overhead one shot. And for the most part, if you get overhead shot, sometimes you can get back up and still get away. I disagree with you. I'm not trying to be negative here, but I disagree. I think it's fine the way it is. Like when I'm running, if I don't turn my camera to look behind me and I hear him running like, and I know he has the overhead, I know I can sense when he's getting really close that I can do a quick U-turn and make him miss me and then run the other way, and then I can get away 80% of the time. My throat, holy crap. I try to evade it, but I get knocked down easily. Well, you just have to find the right time to quickly move left and make him miss it. You know, and not only that, if you're at that point in time, if you're at that stage where he's right on you, then you might be doing something wrong to begin with, and you're not being stealthy enough. I learned that instead of just trying to rush, try to take your time, stop, take a breath, plan out your next move, kind of like chess, instead of just rushing through it where you're putting yourself in a situation you didn't think about. Try to think about what you're going to do and what could happen if you go in that situation, and you're going to have a much better time playing the game. So I the game is a lot of fun to me. I really like it, but there is some balance issues, and I have to say that Texas Chainsaw Massacre is the balance to it. It's not an equal balance. The family needs to be always overpowering the victims, but if they go up, the victims have to go up in a weird way. It's got to be equal like this, equally balanced this way, not equally balanced like most games like this. It's got to be equally balanced like this. And right now, it's almost like this right now. The victims need to go down or, up for the family. Because I don't want to be negative, but I thought about this. Right now, the game is in danger with lack of family members playing the game. When I go to play victim into a public lobby, I notice there's a lot of wait time for the victims fill up, but then the family members, you're always waiting on one or two, and it takes forever because it seems like not too many people are into playing family as much as they are playing victim. And then eventually what's going to happen is the drizzle effect, where people are going to be sick of waiting and then go to play a different game. And we don't want that. We want to make it fun for the family. And to do that, you have to make it a little bit easier, make them a little more overpowered. You're at you're trespassing on private property, and it's not just some fucking old folks saying get the fuck off my property or I'm gonna call the cops and I have a shotgun in my hand. This is Texas Chainsaw Massacre. A lot of people are forgetting that. You're victims of brutal killers that eat people and don't care, and people seem to forget that. And they're like, oh, like, I'm not trying to be mean here, but you're like, the overhead shot thing's a little overpowered, but you know what? We shouldn't be there in the first place. So it's like, you guys gotta laugh about that. You gotta think about it for a second, be like, you know what? It should be really hard to escape. There shouldn't be speed runs and people speed running so bad that it's like they troll and teabag. It's going the wrong direction here. This is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, not fucking Care Bears, So that's what I hope gets adjusted a little more and makes a family a little easier, fun to play, to get more people to say, hey, this is awesome, and then the matches will be quicker. The lobbies will be quicker. Guns live now. Okay, they just went live right now, you guys. Let's head on over there and check her out. Let's check her out. Dying at 30 seconds in the start of a match is bullshit. Well, then that means you gotta learn how to do something. You're doing something wrong. You gotta try something different. Because once you get good at the game, it easily goes the opposite direction. You'll be like running off the maps left and right, and then it's making family players not want to play family anymore unless they really get good and really, like, it's gonna be like like, look at what happened with Evil Dead the game. No one wanted to play family after a while, right? All right, let's head on over there. Bye, Bubba. You're still chewing that damn barbecue? I'm telling you, you got maggots falling out of your mouth. It smells like rotten Cheez-Its over here. Disgusting. Bye, Bubba. Okay. All right. Here we are. Gun Interactive's live stream. Where's the volume? Oh, yeah, I haven't. All right, hold on. Hold on. Oops. Let's see. We're here, right? But I want to see Kieran in the house. What's up, Kieran? You should be able to blow them away with a gun or something. Dude, come on. Like I said, this is the Texas Chainsaw. You guys are victims here. You're not like Rambo trying to rescue like people are always gonna complain, Where's their chat? How do I open? I haven't been on Twitch in years, bro. I actually just had to like get my account back. I lost my password, and then it sent my verification code to my old phone I don't have anymore, and it took like a week to get like it re-established. I'm like, why do they have verification codes now? It's so dumb. Playing after the stream, I want to flush that toilet. Yeah, maybe I have to. Well, my PlayStation 5's over there on the television, and I would have to hook it back up over here. So I don't know. Let's see how long this stream goes for, and let me see. How do I open up the chat on the actual? If I hit escape, how do you work Twitch? Clip. Theater mode, full screen. Yeah, where's their chat room on the desktop? Oh, there we go. Let's hide that and that, like that. Yeah, so you guys can now see what their chat is talking about on the stream there. Let me chime in and say hi. Ready? Five minutes. Let's see. Oh, look, Camp Facer. Camp Facer sucks, man. Hey, campers. How are you all? How are you, Camp Facer boomer? You're just a boomer that thinks he knows everything. You suck. Is being a victim easy, then play as victim? Wait, if being a victim is easy, then play as a victim. I do play as victim. I had, no joke, I had 6 escapes in a row in random lobbies. 6. On my 7th one, I almost escaped again. But then I had 3 horrible matches where I died over and over in the first like 2 minutes or a minute and a half or whatever. That's what I'm saying though. This game, it doesn't matter how good you are. It's always set up scenarios that you just might walk into the wrong situation at the wrong time, but you got to learn how to replan your moves. Like you don't know what you're getting into. And what I like now, what they did by hiding the levels, it was kind of intended to help, not fix, but help. Step 1, help lobby dodging. Okay. But what it really did, and I don't know if a lot of you guys even realize this, but by hiding the levels, it made the game more fun because now when we all go into a match, we do not know what we are up against. We could be up against a level 80 or a level 14. We don't know. So it's an element of surprise. And by doing that, when we go to the match, we're more laid back. We're not going in with stress or something in our head saying, there's 4 level 90s and I'm level 30. I gotta like stress. I'm stressed out. I gotta like run. I gotta like try hard. But now you don't have that. You're going in laid back, relaxed, and just enjoying the moment. And either you catch them or you don't, or you escape or you don't. And sometimes you have great times getting away. Sometimes you get brutally murdered. If you're a family, now you go in with a relaxed mindset, and either you catch somebody super easy and kill them, and you're like, holy shit, that was awesome. But then the next guy you're chasing, and you get hit over. Maybe you get them, maybe you don't. But then the third person, the fourth person, maybe you catch them and kill them. That's what's so great about not knowing the levels. And I get a lot of people say, oh, level is nothing to do with skill. It could just be somebody that was playing that for that long but really sucks at the game. So why are they hiding the levels? Like I just said, it helps lobby dodging because there are people that saw the high levels and said, hey, I'm not playing with level 90s. I'm bouncing. And I actually heard people say that and they left. Okay, so that's 1. And again, 2, the element of surprise, not knowing, going into the unknown against players that it makes you more relaxed. Like I'm just going to go in. I could be playing a level 100 or a level 4, but you don't know. So it's like, it's more relaxed. It's better for it's the best decision that they had made, and it makes it way more fun of a game not knowing what you're up against. What's up, Deadly in the house? Deadly, a moderator and supporter and buddy of mine. How you doing, bro? We're just hanging here. Let me get the volume. Oh yeah, it's muted. Can you guys hear that over my vocals? They got some techno bouncing here. Their chat's flying by, bro. Joshua Baker is in the house. What's up, people? The chainsaw wielding Mississippian in the chat, who just got a haircut and was dyed black along with my goatee. Dude, you need to dye your hair green. Dye it green and do a mohawk, bro. We want to see the mohawk. A green mohawk. That's what I would do. I had a mohawk back in the day. It was kind of like a faux hawk, kind of like short to like bigger. Karen, how are the birds doing, bro? Are they keeping you awake at night? I know they make a lot of noise, so. Or are you keeping them awake? How is everybody doing today? Oh, here we go. Look at this. Look how they were late.
There we go. How's it going, everybody? For those of you who don't know me, my name is Matt. I'm your brand strategy. There you go. We got lower thirds and everything. I'm your brand strategy leader here at Gun. Joined by...
Hey, everyone. I'm Sina. Red Gun. Welcome.
And if you have been kind of keeping up with some of the chatter on socials and things like that, we've been talking a bit about wanting to run this stream to give you guys a little more context behind what's going into the upcoming patch, you know, the big patch trademark. We've got our friend here. I saw somebody in chat say,
Nugget.
We need that Nugget better be on camera. So we've got Nugget. We're all good. I think we're all set. How do we sound? Hopefully everything lights, audio, we're all good to roll. But like I said, we have a couple of items on our list that we want to run through. We felt they were important enough to, spend a little more time talking about them and give you guys a little more context on what exactly we're doing with this big patch outside of the Muerto times. But we also felt that running a second Muerto times might confuse the messaging. We know you guys expect to see the times and then see the patch, and then we're rolling, we're rocking, we're doing our thing. So we figured let's give this desk setup a run, which, as you can see, this is our desk setup. This is where we do our news. This is very, very important business goes on here. We wanted to give the desk setup a trial run and talk over some of these things. So we will get some questions from chat and all of that. I'll be keeping an eye on chat here. And we'll try to tackle a few of those at, more toward the end of the stream. But before we go too far, Sid, why don't you jump in with our first list item?
Yeah, I'm going to start off. And so one of the first changes that y'all are going to be able to see is that victims are now going to start off with a 60-second cooldown on their abilities at the start of a match. This change is brought to you by just us wanting to kind of incentivize stealth play.
Damn!
To stop some of the rush meta that we've seen in game.
Yeah, I would say that one of the coolest things about this change,
60 seconds.
The basement gameplay is going to see a lot of differences after this patch goes live. If you tuned into the last stream, you know that the Leatherface requirement is being lifted. Now, obviously, you can still choose Leatherface and you might start in the basement. But we did see a lot of questions, actually, from people saying, will that change who starts in the basement? Will another family member be in the basement? And that's not the case. The situation with Leatherface not being required, the game stays the same. So you have an opportunity there where if you so choose, you might bring a different, cast of characters to the family side. This change also could see that, that would obviously impact basement gameplay. This change is going to impact basement gameplay. It's basically a little cooldown that's going to give you a little buffer room on how soon those Connies are popping locks or Lelands are throwing shoulders into people or...
It brings me to the next point that I've got to make, and it's that noise is now going to start to follow victims for a few seconds. So when you are spamming that toolbox, when you're going through that bone pile, when you're running through bone charms, if you set off a nugget,
there you go.
If you slam a door, those noise pings will follow you for a little bit.
Oh,
This was interesting.
it
One of the things that I think bears mentioning here, all of the noise right now that you make, aside from, say, coughing over sissy poison or things like that, all of the noise that you make kind of stays where you made the noise.
Right.
And so we were seeing a lot of things with sandbagging teammates. You run through, you grab something real quick, and then your other stealthy teammate is standing there like, what the hell, man? You kind of brought him to me. So now that noise ping is going to stick to you a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So if you sprint through bone charms, you used to be able to sprint through the bone charms, and then that was it. The noise would kind of stay there. A good Leatherface knows where you might have been, or a good family member knows where you might go from there, but it didn't stick to you. Now it will. And I think that's going to really change how that all plays.
okay.
Again, we're just trying to kind of incentivize stealth where we can. And if you do still want to rush, at least you'll know that these are some of the changes coming up.
And, before we get into number 3, it's kind of like we discussed on the last stream where we talked about, speedy play should be allowed. We're not trying to say you can't play speedy. If you choose to play fast, that's your call. It should be punishing, though, and this is part of that move toward, hey, stealth is rewarding and speedy is possible, viable, but there's punishments there. So,
all right. The next point I have is that victims will now stop leaving footprints for Johnny to follow if they're moving at the slowest pace while crouching. Which means if you're crouch walking.
There you go, Karen. There you go.
When he's using his
Karen.
And again, just to contextualize a little bit, we talked about the change to the cook where he won't be able to hear you if you're crouched and you're moving slowly. So if you're crouched and you're moving at that walking pace, right?
Mm-hmm.
This kind of goes hand in hand with that. And again, there's a lot of victim mains out there who are probably already like, oh, victim nerfs, it's all victim nerfs. But this is somewhat of a nerf to the family side, somewhat of a nerf to Johnny, similar to how the cook move is somewhat of a nerf to the cook. And again, the greater point here is this plays into that concept of playing stealthy is rewarding. So now you can avoid some of those kind of opportunities to get detected by, moving slowly, staying crouched, those kinds of things.
Yeah, we just want people to be able to play matches for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The next thing I have on the docket is that we're actually going to be changing the position of detection at escape gates. So what this means is that once a player has crossed the gate, it will now trigger as they've escaped. This change is to kind of help prevent players from being able to camp and teabag at exits from outside of the gate. We're looking at you, Slaughterhouse.
Yeah, and honestly, this is all directly Wes's fault because he refused to put the truck in that comes out and kills victims in the road randomly. So rather than having them dancing out there with no truck to run them over, similar to the bus I threw Wes under, there's going to be the escape volume is much closer to the gate. So like I think of gates on say Slaughterhouse or on the back exit of Family House where you have that long run out where they could go around the corner and hide and then do some trickery and they dance when Grandpa goes off and shit like that. That's going to be nipped in the bud. So the minute you step outside of that gate, you're beat.
Yeah, you're gone.
But what about the Family House road? You don't get to run left and right down the road a little bit?
Yeah. just teabag inside the gate, that's all.
I wish the truck was implemented. Gun, if you're Wes, Kelton there, put the truck
let
in.
me go into the next thing. Speaking of some changes, we're going to be making some improvements to gas station. We're now going to be changing where the fuse pickup locations are, so they're not going to spawn so close to the fuse box. And we're pretty
that's good.
Excited to see how that's going to play out in gameplay now, just because sometimes they'd spawn pretty close to one another, and it'd be not the way that we intended for that to play out.
I mean, the people were sharing straight up screenshots with us on Reddit where the fuse was here, and directly across the walkway that was the fuse box, and it's like you could just grab the fuse and go straight to the fuse box, and that, these are things that we uncover with the help of you guys playing the game, hours and hours and hours on end, because these random systems and things that place spawn locations and what you're looking at there is a system where the fuse box can spawn in a couple different locations.
Her name's Sid. Sid, I don't know her last name.
They synchronize and you get silly things like that. So with, millions, I guess at this point it's safe to say, of hours of gameplay, these are things that get uncovered. And so, this is more a bit of a maintenance one, but we did want to mention it because we had seen so many screenshots of people going, are you kidding? This is right here. And Yeah,
And
that makes it a little higher.
That won't matter though. They're
speaking
gonna
of
get the
which, one
fuse
shout out
anyways
on
and do the
Subreddit,
fuse
which
box.
you can
Yeah.
join. Andy's not on this stream, but he is in chat, so you can give him a shout out.
Yeah, absolutely. Andy's hanging out in there, and we also have a Mighty Mel in the chat too, handling some of the mod duties. So, and of course, we're joined by Rob, our producer, hanging out over there. He's pushing buttons and dials and levers and things. So,
What's up, you guys?
yeah, there you go. There's Rob. So, yeah, basically that whole idea of tuning little items like that with those fuse boxes. There's going to be a lot of those. That's not something that we're ever really going to kind of, maybe some point down the line we'll be done with, but for the most part, keep those things coming up. And if you can find screenshots, that's the most helpful thing because, again, we're talking about overlapping randomizers that kind of sync up every now and then. So send those screenshots into support.txchainsawgame.com. I see questions. Excuse me 1 second. I see questions. We're going to get to those. We have a couple more items to talk about, so don't think I'm ignoring you. I've actually made some mental notes about a few, and we'll talk about them in a minute.
All right, the next thing, speaking of tuning, we're going to be talking about Cook in this next point. We're changing how his ability charge ticks down. So now the way that it's going to work is that it's going to tick down correctly while being actively used as opposed to just honing in and focusing in on a victim. And this is to help with Cook's spamming ability, which we saw plenty of speaking in the subreddit of the Cook is urgent.
I like that though. I like the spam. I like the spam it.
The situation with Cook too. Cook got a little bit of a change to his ability. You can crouch and walk and avoid it, but also there were a lot of people that kind of realized that if you pick up the sound ping and tell the direction, his ability doesn't start ticking away yet. So they could say to their friends, "Oh, they're over there. They're over that way. They're at the front gate. They're over there." It wasn't until he focused in that the ability would start pulling, right? And that shouldn't be the case. If you're in that ability, there should be a drain there. So, again, I know it's somewhat of a Cook nerf, but once in a while we have to nerf the family too. Oh, there we go. I'm gonna get attacked for that one too. I'm digging my own grave.
Yeah,
again,
come on.
all
We
of
don't
this
need
goes
nerf.
into,
We
like,
need
we want
buff.
matches to be able to
Buff.
play out
Buff.
longer and more interestingly for some people, because we saw that a lot in their subreddit, and we just want to incentivize stealth on, and like strategic gameplay on both ends.
Yeah, playing with intent.
Yeah. And I have one last point to bring up, and then we'll kind of start going into chat and talking and ask questions with you all. And so this is more of a fixing an issue. We fixed an issue where the All Victims Killed XP event would apply even when all victims had not been killed. So that means that family players will see a slight change in XP at the end of their matches compared to what you've been used to seeing. With that change, we just kind of wanted to make mention with that. Just because it'll probably be noticeable, especially, like the more that you've played. So we just wanted to be as transparent about that as possible.
Yeah, and I don't want anybody to panic over this. We did recently buff family XP values, and so that's awesome and working out great, and the feedback has been awesome about that. But it was kind of giving you a bonus for something you didn't do, so we kind of had to pull that one. That being said, I know there's going to be a lot of panic and people going, well, now family XP is going to be rough. Let's just keep talking and keep the lines of communication open, and we can obviously continue to evaluate that. So, the first question that I saw in chat that I feel we really should talk a little more about is in regards to how Leatherface plays now. A lot of you are upset, worried, kind of concerned maybe about the Leatherface requirement. Others are, 100% behind the change, and that's great. But just to give a little more clarity on that, the requirement is lifted, but that doesn't mean that anything else in the game changes. Similar to how, you have to have a cook in order to put an extra padlock on. You have to have a hitchhiker for traps. If you choose not to run a Leatherface, the game is going to look the same as it did previously. That's the risk you're running by choosing not to run a Leatherface. Now, team composition, I know there's a lot of, I don't want to say high-level players, but players who have sunk a lot of time into their different family members outside of Leatherface. They are 100% confident running in there with Hitchhiker, Sissy, and Cook, maybe. There's going to be other squads that need a Leatherface in order to make it happen, but part of this is it leaves a lot more to the team, the players, to choose what synergies they want to aim for, and I think that we made a mistake by talking a little too much about, oh, you're going to miss Leatherface. You are. I think you are going to miss Leatherface. But I also think that there's a lot of synergies that you're going to be able to see now that maybe weren't possible before.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how matches play out now. It's going to be interesting to kind of be able to see in real time how the community and you all feel about being able to play these different matches and different runs with different teams. As always, you can always talk to us in our subreddit. We see it, we listen to feedback, and we're going to be tuning along as we always say we will and do.
Yeah, nothing's ever permanent too. Live games are fun like that. We can tinker, we can tune. But the situation with Leatherface. So just to say it plainly, because I know some people are going to go, but you didn't really answer me. To say it plainly, barricades are still going to be there. You will get looped on barricades possibly. Victims are trying not to die. That's going to happen.
What about the doors being locked though?
Ways around those barricades.
Can family go downstairs until the grandpa wakes up, or no?
Yeah, barricades are staying, and if you don't bring Leatherface, you might miss him. Another question I had seen was about Bomb Squad and perks in general. I saw a couple other questions about perks in general. I just wanted to touch on that because there are going to be changes coming to perks. We have plans to tune up a lot of our perks in game, but we're kind of putting that all together into one perk-focused patch. It's a lot of P words, so I hope that the windscreen on my mic is holding out. We want to put together a perk patch where we're going to go through and look at a variety of either best in slot perks and evaluate those for potential changes. Some of the underutilized ones, are there perks that we need to, consider removing and replacing? Are there ones that we just need to rework? And so there's been a lot of great feedback on Reddit, socials everywhere. Everywhere that you guys talk to us, there's been a lot of great feedback on which perks you enjoy, which ones you think are a little OP or a little underpowered.
Bomb Squad's OP.
Which ones you feel are just flat out useless.
They need to fix Bomb Squad. It's broken. It's too easy for people to get traps in.
But similar to how we told you guys, we're working on the big patch. We're working on a perk patch. That's not something that can really be, snuck in here and there, a line or two, because then it ends up feeling.
Kieran, Bomb Squad should take longer if you're going to use it.
And it needs to be across the board. Touch all the perks, rework some metagame things, and get that figured out. So yeah, Black Girl Victim when? Honestly, we answered this in our last stream. Really, what it comes down to is the characters that we have they're designed, and as long as they fit and make sense in the design, they go into the game. We don't really add characters off of like some checklist that we need to do, but we have a lot of cool things coming for characters. Speaking of, we have Nancy and Danny coming to the game. Which,
hype.
We wanted to get the word out. We also have a new map coming. I think some of you guys picked that up. You saw a field of sunflowers, and I feel like you guys figured out what that meant. I'm shocked that I'm not hearing a whole lot of questions about them, which I think is interesting. Oh, new map.
Oh, chat's going on.
Yeah, any update on the skill tree? What particularly are you looking to hear about the skill tree? Because as I said just a moment ago, we're going to be evaluating perks and things like that, trying to make sure that those separate branches within the skill tree, there's loadouts in there outside of just the one best in slot. So what I think we need to focus on most is making sure that there's a lot more viability in more than just a few perks in each loadout tree. But as far as that concept, I'm sorry, I'm rambling. We have talked a lot about people saying, let me have a loadout for each different branch of the skill tree. And I put together an answer. I think Andy shared it with you guys on Reddit, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, if you go through and filter through our developer responses, you'll be able to see that. Any of our long-form conversations, if you want to go a little bit more in depth, that's like the best way to reach us. Even across our other socials, that's going to be the best way for us to be able to directly see exactly like any of your qualms, your feedback, and be able to kind of engage in like what we're kind of looking at and working on and stuff like that. As Matt said, we've got a lot of stuff on the docket, and looking at perks is one of them, and we're going to be honed in and focused on that in particular.
Yeah, and the nice thing about those developer responses is it's real easy to just see what we've kind of touched on. Skill trees being one of them. The concept of having a different loadout to each different skill tree, you'll notice that there's perks in each skill tree that you have to commit to. Just saying it plainly, you have to commit.
What are they doing about the gas station exit, though? Remember they were going to fix a door? What are they doing with that?
So you go down the route to get Bomb Squad to face off, you want to be able to combat hitchhiker traps. Being able to go, oh, there's no hitchhiker in here, so now undo all that and just throw on a different loadout. Those commitments to branches in the tree, in my mind, are kind of important. And so we're going to try and make sure that there's more in each branch to motivate builds. But here's a question. I'm assuming it's specifically for Sid.
Oh.
Favorite Lana album?
Oh. Yes,
It's okay,
I've got my LDR jacket on. That's a hard question. Born to Die is great, and Norman fucking Rockwell.
Yeah, there you go.
That's the name of the album. Probably my 2 favorite Lana albums, but I like everything by her. So thanks for asking.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I saw it come through, and I was like, oh, we got to get that one. What about Russian language? I see that's confirmed coming. Sid, if you want to talk on that a bit. I think when can we expect to see that? I believe we've cleared that up.
I think it's very soon. We're gonna have some news on that. Maybe not this patch, but maybe
I think
our
it's quality of life too.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
No,
there.
you're okay. I just didn't want to say the wrong thing.
Yeah.
I believe it's going to be in the next upcoming patch. We've heard a lot of feedback on Russian and can I say the other one?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm really excited about this one. Portuguese.
Yeah.
It's in Portuguese for quality of life too. We're really excited to be able to share something like that with you all. We saw a lot of people asking for that, so it feels cool to we're doing it.
Yeah, like we said, that's not necessarily this upcoming patch, but the patch after. And again, you'll hear from us. We've got patch notes coming together. If you've seen the Muerto Times, you've seen that there's over 250 fixes in this. So these patch notes are going to be a doozy. We're going to be putting those together and getting those published probably a little closer to the patch date, which is another cool thing we can talk about. We have a date for the patch. I'm going to let Sid give this good news.
November 28th.
Yeah.
November
Mark it in your
28th.
calendars.
Okay,
November
cool.
28th, we have the patch. We have content. We have all kinds of fun stuff. We
Ooh.
also have our patch notes coming just before the 28th. We'll be sharing, basically the full list of 250 fixes. And like I said, that's kind of a doozy. It's going to take a little doing. Another important date to get out of the way, we will be out of office next week for the Thanksgiving holiday. So if our comms are a little more spotty, understand that we're taking a little break, be with our families, spend some Thanksgiving time. That being said, though, we will be coming back in and have quite a bit of work in order to get those 250 fixes listed for you. How long will it take for us to update this patch? I'm not sure if you're asking about the patch size, but it's probably going to be a pretty big one. Shirtless Johnny release date, please. Ooh. I don't think we can confirm a Shirtless Johnny release date, but it's coming.
Yeah,
So
it's coming.
it's promised.
Be on the lookout.
At least there's that. Yeah.
God.
Now, I would love to use Nicotero chainsaw on my pretty woman skin. I see what you're saying, being able to swap the chainsaw. Here's the thing with something like that. Nicotero being kind of a premium skin, we built him, top down to be, be a little unique, be a little more kind of individual. And so we wanted to kind of keep that skin unique to Nicotero Leatherface. Usually when you put a skin of that kind of...
I want a shirtless hitchhiker.
Stuff in one column.
A shirtless
The reason
hitchhiker and a
the
shirtless
execution
Connie.
universal is
Hell
because
yeah, Connie. Bounce those jugs.
They're not more about the personality of the character than they are about the skin. But we hear your feedback on Nicotero Leatherface chainsaw. If there's any change to that, the best thing to do is talk to us. But remember,
Shirtless cook. He's probably got a big hairy chest, bro. All sweaty and like
Madison, let us know
flies
that.
sticking to it. He'd be like, I'll tell you what,
Nancy, I've seen
goddamn kids.
merchandise. Really, Danny and Nancy, what we can say, Danny and Nancy are going to be all new characters with... Lost your mic. Oh, my mic is lost.
Oh, did we lose?
I'm back.
Back.
My bad. A little bit of a mic problem. Again, we're running a new setup. We're going to get back to Danny and Nancy in a minute. We're running a new setup, and so there might be some things like that. So apologies, my mic cutting out. But so, Danny, Nancy, yeah, we can't really share too much at this time. What we do want to say, though, is they come with their own skill trees, which means their own kind of allotment of perks that go in there, some uniques and things like that. They come with their own new abilities. They're completely different abilities. And yeah, you're going to hear more about them in the coming days. So I got to get a little bit of good news to you guys. We have a much bigger detailed look at them coming very soon. So keep an eye out.
Keep an eye out.
All the usual places, socials,
Where-
our community hub, that kind of thing.
At TX Chainsaw Game.
Everywhere? Yeah, Rob, can we run the lower third? Because, yeah, why not? Rob might be in a little bit of a mess. There you go. At TX Chainsaw Game everywhere. So when we say keep talking to us, that's what we mean. How did Johnny get his face scar? He got his face scar in Pflugerville, fighting with some folks. You know, he was out doing Johnny things, and somebody kind of got the jump on him. The lore behind that, I believe, is on the hub also. So you know what? I'm not going to even spoil it. Go to the hub.
Yeah, it's called The Lore of Texas. I wrote it, so you should read it.
Yeah, props. Scout Johnny Fix, he's still frustrating as victim. We get that he's frustrating, but part of that movement that you're seeing with Johnny is kind of designed into his character. So while we're obviously always looking to hear feedback,
watch out, Karen. Johnny's going to get you.
Like
He's going to get you.
It's at this point we're confident in saying that Johnny is not in a place where he's broken. I feel like that's an important distinction for the community. Broken versus needing, you know, maybe
Johnny's going to get you, Karen. He's coming after you.
We try to qualify these things that way. You'll see a lot of times fix and testing, tuning, those kinds of things. Let's see. Any plans to bring back player rank in lobbies? No, not at this time. We're pretty confident that the things we're doing are kind of going to create, you know, kind of a multi-faceted approach toward curbing some of that lobby dodging that you're seeing.
Yeah, we want things to run smoother for players. We want people to be able to load into games as quickly as they want to. And that was some of the changes that were measured and deliberate. We took some time to think about it. And if anything needs adjusting, you can continue to talk to us about that, and we'll look into tuning if needed. But at the moment, we feel pretty good about that.
Yeah. So the story, oh, here's a cool one. The stories we hear on the radio, are those a mixture of game lore and actual stories that have happened? No, that's all game lore, actually. So make sure that you're listening to those radio broadcasts that you might catch. I did see a question about cook skins. Yes, we will have cook skins. We'll have hitchhiker skins. We're going to have skins for everybody. Not just yet. We're focusing on, you know, the things we've shared. When the time comes to talk about those things, we'll get that news out to you guys. And I'm going to hit like another question or two. There's been some people asking about, you know, hiding maps, a couple things like that. Players are still dodging lobbies. It's not the player level. Again, we have a lot of different things that we're working.
They never answer my question.
But it's never going to be just one straightforward thing here or there. Hopefully the combined effort of all of those elements is going to help. And again, rather than go nuclear and come in with some giant hammer and start trying to curb the lobby dodging thing, we think that a more measured approach is going to be the way to do this.
Yeah, we kind of want to have everyone take a feel for what these changes are, how it plays out, what it looks like before we look to readjusting again.
Yeah, and then just real quick, I want to get a couple out of the way. Slaughterhouse valve, that's going upstairs. We talked about that in the last stream. We're moving the tank upstairs. That should make it much more visible and all of that. Somebody asked what the new map is actually called. It's called Nancy's House. It's her residence. You'll see a little more about that, like I said, in the coming days. Thank you guys in general. Thank you for hanging out with us.
See, it's not called the junkyard map. It's
how much will the new characters and skins cost? Well, new characters and skins, it's two different things. New characters, $9.99. Skins, it depends. There's some bundle options and things like that, but all of that information's up on our socials. And just in the name of trying to wrap this up a bit, who's the voice for the radio fella? I believe that's Lex Lang, if I'm not mistaken. And he also is the voice of Leatherface, believe it or not. Oh, Aaron LaPlante. I was wrong on that. Oh, I hit my mic. I apologize. I was wrong on that one. Aaron LaPlante does the voice on the radio. So, will Nancy come with her own unique perks? And if so, will new victim perks come as well? Yes, and they come in Danny's tree and Nancy's tree, respectively. More details on that soon. We're going to pretty much wrap it up here, guys. We're getting a lot of onesie-twosie questions in here. We have our past broadcast from the community Q&A, which answered a lot of the things we're seeing here in chat. We're going to be putting that up onto our YouTube channel as well as the past broadcast of this. We'll be able to reference them, you know, stop, pause, get all the answers and all of that. And yeah, like I said, keep an eye out soon. Nancy, Danny, Nancy's House. Patch.
November 28th.
250 fixes in the big patch, quality of life patch. November 28th. Content, November 28th. I don't know. Have a happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
We're thankful for you.
Yeah.
Remember that we're talking about video games, everybody, and be nice to each other, and at least, you know.
Be cool, be kind.
Yeah, be cool,
Have a
be
good
kind,
time.
be nice. Yeah. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Let us know on socials what you thought about the desk setup and if we should do more of these check-ins. We like to try and keep them snappy, so thank you again for the quick stream, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
All right. That was a short one. It seemed kind of scripted with the questions. I think they already knew what they were going to be talking about. It wasn't like they were just picking random questions from the chat like that were like my question didn't make sense. Mine was just a want something to come to the game, and they weren't going to answer that. I knew it as soon as I posted it like 4 times to see if, because the chat's going so fast, I didn't know if they saw it. Maybe they missed it. My question was, is it, what did I say? Let me see. What did I write exactly? Any possibility to make it so that Hitchhiker and Sissy has an ability to where they crouch down in the bushes and their proximity warning slowly fades away after 2 to 3 seconds. So that way they can camp and surprise victims that might be coming over to a certain part of the map and then jump on them and be like, bam, you know? Because a lot of people could say, well, that's OP. Well, to me, it's not, because it's a trade-off. Like, you're sitting there wasting time that you could be running around and trying to find victims, opposed to just sitting in one spot. So I think that's a good even trade-off, because you can't do that if you have proximity warning. You go to the other side of the battery as a victim, you're gonna be like, oh shit, family's over here somewhere, I'm bouncing. You know, so why there's no point in hiding somewhere as a family member. But I think, honestly, that would be, not to do it, I don't play like that, but it would be fun to do sometimes. You know, it would be a fun mechanic just to be like, you know, swap up how you're playing the game. Be like, this time, instead of running around acting like a jackass, like playing goalie the entire time, I'm going to try this out. And it'd be fun. A victim comes walking right by you and you jump up and then like, bam, you're there. Like they're going to be like, oh, fuck. You know, they're going to be like, I didn't even know he was there. That would be awesome to have in the game. It would be a lot of fun. But I don't know. I'm going to keep throwing that question at them, and maybe someday they'll be like, you know what? That is a good idea, Camp. So yeah, you guys. How many people, I don't know, how many people are still here? Let's see. 11 of you. Hey, thank you for watching the stream. I wish it was a little bit longer, and I wish I got into more questions though. Like, they didn't even, I was hoping they were going to talk more about the gas station fix for the front door that, remember in the patch notes, or the last time they were saying we're working on a door idea. Maybe they don't have the answer yet, but it would be scary with Sissy's poison. Yeah, she jumps up and blows the poison. Are you going to play the game? Are you getting on the game? Oh, hold on. Let me see. I have to check in first with something. Well, you wouldn't be screwed. You still have a chance to jump down a well or something like that, you know? Hold on 1 second, you guys. Let's see. Oh, hey there, sexy man. How are you doing? I can't do the Bubba voice. Shut that stream off. Also, wait, I have a question for you guys. I don't even think it wouldn't even matter to, like, for you to, it doesn't matter what you say, but I want to see what your opinion is anyways. Now that Twitch changed their terms of service, or not their terms of service, their whatchamacallit, their, I think the contract for people that are monetized over on Twitch, to now they allow people that are monetized on Twitch to multi-stream, which means I can now stream to Twitch and YouTube at the same time. Whereas before, if I did that, my account would be, I think, suspended, or I'd be demonetized because they didn't want you to like share your stream, you know, but now they're allowing it with certain things in play. So that being said, I do have a Twitch account. I think I still have about 300 subscribers on Twitch, or followers. I might give it a shot and do multi-streaming. Like, I'll have the chat on YouTube and the chat with Twitch at the same time, and it'll be streaming on both accounts at the same time. So I can hang out with you guys on YouTube, and if I have any followers on Twitch, I could talk to them as well. I might give it a shot and see how it goes, but I have to go over on my Twitch account and kind of go over a lot of that stuff over there and see what I have to update and all that. But it's something to look forward to. I mean, it could be fun, it could be for the better, or it could be a waste of time. But I'm gonna definitely look into it. And that wouldn't mean like you guys have to go to Twitch to support me. You could support me whatever platform you're on. That's fine. I enjoy that. It's not like you have to be on both. To me though, it might make my name in my stream go out to more potential newcomers and get more fans involved. Does anyone here have like 30 FPS on the gas station on PS5 performance mode? What do you mean? Are you saying like when you play gas station map, it drops for you? Well, YouTube to me is a better platform for me, because you guys know I haven't done a lot lately, but my whole niche is making videos and going outside the box and doing different things. So all my content for videos recorded and edited and uploaded are over on YouTube. So my base platform is YouTube because my fans are there. So for live streaming anyways, it's better for me to stick to the one platform. But I would like to branch out and go back to Twitch at the same time to open up the door to potential new people, new fans. What's better though for streaming? It's a tough one, because if a lot of new people are into streaming, like they want to start out streaming, like start up a channel, I would like to say new people streaming would probably make out better being over on Twitch, because there's a lot of, it's all mostly like 90%, besides like the IRLs and the hot tub streams and stuff, most of it's gaming. So everyone over there is wanting to see a video game streamer. But on YouTube, streams are beyond, there's not as many gamer streamers. Like Twitch is like the platform for gaming streaming. So it'd be easier to build a fan base over on Twitch. To start on YouTube, it's going to be a lot more difficult. I should have said that to what's his name? Shadow Man. Why I brain farted. Shadow Man should also start on Twitch. He should do that too. I'm gonna talk to him about that. So back to the gas station, 30 FPS. I'm not sure why it's doing that. I'm gonna have to look into it and see if it happens to me as well. It could be something to do with like your internet connection lagging, like I don't know, it could do that. Or if your console's overheating, maybe. Okay, so if the gas station map has something more going on graphic wise than the other maps, then that's going to cause your graphics card inside your PlayStation 5 to work harder, and if it's not ventilated well enough, it's going to overheat, and that's going to cause your motherboard to start lagging, and that's exactly what happened. So if you're gonna play gas station map, Andrea, I would say put your PlayStation 5 in the refrigerator on that when you're playing, or have like a fan, a big fan blowing, and make sure you dust out the fins and stuff for your PlayStation with the air duster, and make sure it's very well ventilated, because that's what happens with gaming PCs. If they overheat, that means the motherboard, the chip, is not being cooled properly, and that would cause major performance lag with the graphics. And that was a major. That's why my computer would shut down after a while, because I remember I thought it was something to do with my my battery power supply. So I bought a new power supply because I thought the power wasn't like dimming down and then shutting off the computer. But what it was my radiator cooler inside my computer failed. Like it wasn't working anymore, and I didn't know that. I didn't realize that. And then when I finally diagnosed, I was looking into everything, and I found out I had to replace the radiator, because that's what was cooling down the chip that was on the motherboard, and when that all overheats, it was causing so much lag the computer would shut down. So yeah, the gas station map is probably overclocking. Like the graphics are overclocking your PlayStation, and yeah, so maybe that's I'm probably 99.9% sure that's what's going on. And I'm gonna actually ask Gun Interactive if they know anything about that. That's a good question. I'll look into that. Neil Wolf in the house. What's up? How you doing? Oh yeah, I don't mean to like ignore friend requests. It's just I'd never go over there like in the menu. And then one day I'll just look at my friend request and be like, oh shit, I haven't been here in like 3 months. And then I have a list of people, and I'm like, oh fuck, that's right, he said he wanted me to accept their request, and that was like 2 months ago. I'm like, oh fuck, he probably thinks I was ignoring him. I've done that, like I had a whole list of like 20 people, and I had to like apologize to and say, hey, I wasn't ignoring you, by the way, I just forgot. Wait, what? I wasn't listening. Shut up. Yeah, so Andrea, I'm sure like if you could somehow ventilate, maybe I'm not saying you don't, but maybe your PlayStation isn't vented right. Like maybe, like for instance, I discovered if you stand your PlayStation vertical and you don't have the circle mount under it that it comes with, because like I don't do that. I just put it, I think I threw the mount away. If you put it standing up, you'll notice the bottom of your console where it's like sitting on the table, after a while that gets wicked hot, because if you pick your console up, there's ventilation there that it's trying to get out and it can't escape, so it's overheating the bottom of it. So maybe turn your console on, like horizontal, so all the vents around it can breathe easier. And if it's near a radiator, that's not going to help. You want heat away. You want to keep the heat. You want to keep it cool as possible, and make sure it's cleaned out, all the dust and everything too, as well. The Bruce Lee stuff. I don't know. I'll have to go check the collections. We have a Discord, by the way, you guys. That you can join and hang out and post stuff and look at horror movie collectibles and more, and games, and just hang out over there. I'm there all the time. I try to be. Yeah, Blue Supreme Slice right there has posted the link to it. That's the official Discord. Oh, yeah, thank you, Karen. Look at that, you guys. I forgot about the poll. I'm gonna end the poll in about 10 seconds or so. let's see. If you haven't done the poll, I always do these silly little polls, but check out the poll and vote, and let's see who the winner is. 10 more seconds, and I'm going to stop the poll and see the results. Now, think about this, though. When the question about the poll is, if you had to feed peanuts to one of these killers, now think about how small a peanut is, and you have to take your 2 fingers and put it into their mouth. I wish my hand would actually go over the Leatherface. You'd have to put it in their mouth and have them open up their lips and their teeth and feed it to them one by one for a while. They're not going to kill you, okay? I wish I could note that in the question. They're not going to kill you, but maybe Leatherface's saw is off to the side. He's just sitting there, and you got to feed him one by one peanuts, or Freddy Krueger, or Zelda, or what was the 4th one? I forget who was it? Leatherface, Jason. It was part 2 Jason. Feeding part 2 Jason little peanuts, one at a time. Who would you pick? Who would you pick? Because it's pretty gross and pretty freaky. I would say I would pick I'd probably pick Freddy, because he'd be laughing the whole time and making faces at me, you know? Like I said, they're not going to hurt you. They're not going to kill you. You just have to do it and see their person. Because Bubba, man, he'd be weird. His teeth and his lips, like, and you know. But Freddy, he'd be like, ha 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 ha. What, are you going to feed me another peanut? Can't. How sweet. He'd probably like chew it and spit it at you, you know. But part 2 Jason and Bubba, and especially Zelda, I don't even think I could bear the smell of Zelda. She probably, oh my God, rotten Cheez-Its. All right, here we go. We're going to end it in 3, 2, 1. End poll. To see the results. If you had to feed peanuts to one killer, who would you pick? Leatherface came in first at 44%. Freddy Krueger second, part 2 Jason third, and Zelda from Pet Cemetery last out of 27 votes. Ooh, I had 27 people pop in today. Congratulations, you guys are awesome. I like the horror movie community over here. We all hang out. Hell yeah. Give this video a like for sure. And if you haven't subscribed, please check out the channel and consider. Hell yeah. I also want to say a quick little shout out to somebody in the community that recently had passed. His name is Dave. I don't know his last name, but he was a huge horror movie fan and Friday the 13th fan. He, rest in peace, he just passed away yesterday. He had heart surgery, but then during the surgery, something happened where he had a stroke, and he didn't make it. Like he couldn't even fight through it at all. It got worse and worse and worse, and then his family had to pull the plug yesterday, and just horrible news. He left a few kids behind, and yeah. But he helped run a Friday the 13th I forget how you say it. It was for Richard Brooker, I believe. Yeah, it was for Richard Brooker, and they had an event where a bunch of horror movie stars and stuff came by, and it was a big event for the memory of Richard Brooker. CJ Graham was there, and he helped run it, and he cosplayed as Jason. Dave did. Dave dressed up as Jason, like part 3 Jason, and they did autographs, and it was like a party. He did 2 of those. Him and his friends helped run it and put it together. And he was over on Facebook a lot. He did like a couple YouTube live streams with one of my other buddies. And yeah, it's just a shame to see somebody like that because he like just like that. He wasn't even like unhealthy. He was young. So yeah, another one bites the dust. It's too bad. I unfortunately never got a chance to meet Richard Brooker or Ted White. But I did get Ted White's autograph, but I would have loved to meet him at a con or something. That would have been awesome. Ted White, probably more for me than Richard Brooker, because Ted White was my first Jason I ever saw. And man, whew, what a movie Part 4 was for my first horror movie ever seen as a kid. By myself in the dark? Hell yeah. As soon as that movie ended, I kind of like, the credits went up and I just sat back and I was like this. I was like, I looked left. I looked right. It was kind of cold because it was like tiled floor. And I was on the first floor of our house. My parents were upstairs sleeping. And I was just like, and I looked left, I looked right again, and I remembered, I'm like, we also rented, it just came out, brand new, it was at the VHS rental store, Police Academy Part 1 just came out. So we rented that, and we rented Friday the 13th Part 4. So after Friday the 13th Part 4, I didn't even bother rewinding that tape. I put it to the side and I popped in Police Academy, and I didn't even know what I just knew it was a comedy. That's all I knew. It was a comedy about police, okay? Had no idea what the fuck it was. I just knew it was a comedy. I'm like, I'm popping that sucker in. I sat back, and the opening scene, the music, and I'm like, this is the movie I need to watch right now. Thank God. I was like, that last movie I just watched, fucking A. I didn't even know what Friday the 13th was. I didn't know who Jason was. All I knew is what I just saw scarred in my mind, and I'm like, holy fuck, dude. And the only reason why I rented it is because it was my first horror movie, and my mom's like, yeah, go rent whatever horror movie you want. This is your chance. And I just rented it because I had a hockey mask on the cover, and you know, the knife going in the eye and all the fucking blood. I saw it, I'm like, this is, I don't know what it is, but this looks brutal. I'm renting this. My mom didn't even ask. She was like, okay. And just, I was like, all right. So that's the story of my, I know you guys have already heard that story, but yeah. By the way, Camp, do you play on TV or a monitor? That's a complicated question because I play on like everything. Like right now, my console is hooked up to the television. So, like our television is a like 55 inch or some shit like that. But I'll take it and bring it over to the computer. I have two monitors here on the computer. I have two 24-inch monitors. And then when I live stream, I play it on my 24-inch, the better quality one that runs 144 hertz refresh rate or whatever. And then the one on the left is just a lower quality for my studio stuff, or the chat. But I always try to use headset when I'm playing to get the full immersion of the sound design and the surround sound vibe, everything. But a lot of the times, like, cause I preach that, I'm like, if you're gonna play Texas, you should definitely wear a headset. But I do play a lot with the audio just using the TV, and I talk through my mic on my controller. You shouldn't do that, but I do it sometimes because I'm a little lazy, because sometimes my headset's being used over here on the computer and I don't want to hook it back up. And I've been putting a lot of hours and time in, just even on the television, where I can just sit down on the couch and just fire it up real quick and play a match or two and then change it over to TV. So it's kind of enjoyable that way. But if I have it over here, I'm full on headset, live stream, focused, smaller monitor, but so yeah. The sound of the controller sounds awesome though, Camp. Well, the problem with playing with my controller on the television is I can only hear people in the chat talking through the controller. The sound on the TV is there, but the chat's not coming through the television, it's coming through the controller. So I have to kind of have to put it up to my ear real quick as I'm playing to see what my team members, if they're like, hey, a victim's over at the slaughterhouse, and I can hear them that way, and I have to go like that, and then I have to unmute it and be like, I'm on my way. You know what I mean? So it's a little bit of a weird situation. I don't even know if you could put the chat on the television. Can you? Is there a way to make it so the chat is talking through the TV, or because it's coming through my controller and I don't know why, and I don't know how to fix that. Yeah, so let me see. It comes from the TV. That's weird. Left out left. Well, so why is my chat coming through the controller and not the TV? That all the other sound comes from the TV and it sounds great. It's just the chat is coming through the controller. Hang on, guys. Okay, so unfortunately I cannot stream any longer and play the game because my kid wants to jump back on the computer to play more Fortnite Season 7 and 8. Just came out yesterday, I think, or today. So yeah, I promise you get back on. So hey, I had fun, and I just wanted to do this thing with you guys and talk about the patch or what Gun Media do a co-stream, not co-stream, but a watch along with their Twitch channel. So that was fun. Thank you guys for sticking around, hanging out. I appreciate it, and I will see you guys later. Any last questions before I hang up here? Camp, I have one last question. What is it? What is it? Because I gotta go back upstairs with Grandpa. He's stealing all my tall boy beers. I gotta make sure he's not taking any more. Can't wait to see the new map how it's gonna play out. Yeah, I wish I'm not really wicked excited about it yet because we don't know what it looks like. Only for the front yard of the little house, you know. I am pumped. Any new map right now is going to make the game wicked fun because it's something new, you know? But, so, you know what's going to suck, Karen and you guys? Say that we get the new map, okay? You go to load into a match and it throws you to a slaughterhouse or something. You're going to be like, fuck, I don't want to play this shit. I want to play the new map. So that being said, I kind of wish Gun made it so you could select a map. But by doing that, it's going to slow the lobbies down even more. You know what I mean, though? We're gonna get like 5 gas stations in a row, and then the slaughterhouse 3 in a row, and then on the next one we might get the new map. You know what I mean? You know that's gonna happen. And then you know what's gonna happen too. There's gonna be a lot of lobby dodging because of the map. There's gonna be people like bouncing out of like say you just want to play and you don't care about the new map and you just want to play like Family House. People are gonna bounce because they're not getting the new map. So that kind of sucks too. This lobby dodging shit though seriously has got to be fixed some way or shape or form because this game's just gonna get worse and worse with it. Yeah, so I'm very nervous with the low count of family players out there. I don't know if you guys have noticed it. Like if you play family, if you go to quick play or not quick play, if you go to like just select and play with randoms, like by yourself. If you select family, you'll most likely get into matches a lot faster and play more. But then if you stop and be like, all right, I'm going to go back to victim, and you start playing, go to a victim, the wait time to get into a lobby takes longer, and then the lobby comes up, and then most likely you're going to see 3 and then the 4th one, and then all 4 victims are sitting there waiting for family members to fill. And you'll notice like one family member waiting for 2 other family members to come in, and it'll be like they come in and then somebody doesn't want to play Leatherface, and then they bounce, and it's like, oh my god, it takes way longer to play a victim. So it makes me nervous because more and more people are gonna start leaving the game if there's no matches to play. And nobody wants to play family because they're butthurt because it's like the victims are overpowering them. I've also noticed, you guys, a lot of times I'm playing and family members will rage quit during the match, and that kills it too, because when they leave, it's impossible to catch the rest. I've had it where the match started on Slaughterhouse and the valve went off and the fuse box opened up. I heard something and I opened up my screen, and Hitchhiker and Cook left the match because they were like, you know what, screw this. They got mad and they left and I'm like, oh great, now it's me versus 4 victims. The fuse box is open and the valve went off. What do I do? Just go for XP? But I don't even need XP anymore because I'm level 99 now, so it's kind of like, yeah, maybe they should just hide the map so the match starts up, but then what are they going to do? Rage quit during then? Like, they just go ahead and just play the match, you know? I think that might be a good idea too. Just hide the maps and then you just load into whatever map. It'll make it more of a little surprise, right? Penalties, yeah. But anyways, I gotta go, guys. I'll see you guys later. And as always, campers, stay out of the woods. Guys? Anyone there? You guys, help me. Help me over here. Please help. Get me out of here. They're coming. Guys, help. Get me out. What the fuck was that? Ah!